Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System.
Hi everyone, my name is Expref and today we will look at the original Legend of Zelda game for the NES. Since it was recently released for everybody who owns the Nintendo Switch Online service, it is nice to know if it's something that's worth checking out for you. So I will dissect the game and try to figure out if it's still as fun as it was back in the day, and more importantly, to see if it's something that's worth your time to play, because there are so many games yet so little time. So let's jump into Hyrule with me and get this adventure going. The Legend of Zelda, created for the NES by Nintendo, was released on February 21, 1986. You take control of a boy called Link that needs to save Princess Zelda from the evil Demon King Ganon. A classic hero story triangle and a very ambitious project, as you can see by the concept art from the book Art and Artifacts. But 32 years later we have seen many other Zelda games, and that classic hero story triangle is still visible in some games, but not in all. We also have the stop the moon from crashing and killing everyone. Or what about the princess is dead and is now haunting an empty knight's armor, so ride around in a train till you find her body again. But still, The Legend of Zelda is probably one of my favorite franchises and is one of the most popular game series in the whole world. All Zelda games together have sold almost 100 million copies over the whole world, with the original Zelda selling 9.03 million times. Fun fact, Link's Crossbow Training has sold 5.79 million copies. I mean, what?
And now back to Hyrule. The game starts with you being dropped in the bottom of the map, which isn't really a map but more of an indication where you are. So you can go left, right or straight up. If you choose any of these, you will probably immediately get pooped on, as you have no weapons or no items. But as most people, you can also choose to go into this cave right here, which is the right decision. Now you get your first weapon, and now your adventure really begins. So the next step, where do you go? Well, that's the question really, because the game doesn't tell you anything. With my first playthrough, this was my biggest complaint. I had no clue what I had to do, so I just began killing everything, trying to earn some rupees. If you stray too much to one side, you will probably encounter some enemies that are too tough for you. This keeps you restricted to a smaller area, which is actually a very clever way to tell the player where to go, without outright telling them. So if you're lucky enough and explore enough, you can discover your first dungeon. Wait, this isn't the right dungeon. This is number 3. I haven't finished the first dungeon yet. Oh well, we can still try. Well, crap. You don't necessarily need to finish the dungeons in the right order, but it will most certainly help, as you will gain more lives and better items, as dungeons will get increasingly harder. So if you explore long enough, you will eventually find the first dungeon, which shouldn't be too difficult if you're used to the controls and mechanics by now. But still, in the beginning you will probably die a lot, which can be frustrating, but will also teach you how to play the game smartly. The game is still mostly a crapshoot on where to go. The goal is to finish all 8 dungeons, and at the end of each dungeon you get a Triforce piece.
Yay! Woo!
And finally after that you can visit the final dungeon and beat the Demon King Ganon. At the same time you can find upgrades for your sword and armor, which will benefit you greatly. Also, a main part of the game are the secrets that you can find throughout. These secrets can be rupees, an item, a hint to find special items or locations in the game, or you can even have to pay a poor sucker for breaking down his door. These secrets can be in the most random places, and the only way to find them is to use items on as many trees and rocks as you can. Or just by straight up knowing where the secrets are.
So what we see here is a classic game with mechanics that we don't see as much today. So is this game good, even with the randomness, lack of hints and difficulty? Well, yeah, it is good. This game offers something so much different than the games we see today. It is difficult in getting used to if you haven't played these sorts of games where you just get dropped in a world and have to figure out everything for yourself. But have patience. Don't immediately grab for Google to figure out what to do next. Explore, get lost. It might take some time, but when you finally figure it out, the reward will be amazing. Just the feeling that you have done everything yourself in such a random world. And the great thing is, after you have done it once, you will probably never forget. And that's why the game contains a second quest after completion, which will let you play the entire game again, only now everything is in a different place, so you have to figure out all over again. Back in the day, this game was lifted up by everyone playing it and then coming together during school breaks to discuss what secrets you have found and which bush you need to burn to find a big stack of rupees. We don't have that anymore, but that doesn't take away the fact that you can still enjoy this game greatly. You can still open a guide, the game even suggests to do so in the intro, or you can use the internet. But the real reward is figuring it out yourself. So what do you guys think? Have you played the original Legend of Zelda and did you enjoy it? Or do you still plan on playing it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe as it helps me out a lot. And you're very cool for doing so. If you have the time, you can check out one of my other videos right here. And if not, I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!